Let's say we're software developers working on the code for a digital bank. To run our bank, we use the Perforce ecosystem of solutions, specifically P4, our high-performance centralized version control solution, Puppet Bolt, our open-source agentless infrastructure orchestration solution, Delphix, our intelligent data automation platform, in this case specifically for test data management, Klocwork, our fast, scalable static application security testing solution, BlazeMeter, our continuous testing platform for performance testing, service virtualization, API testing, and synthetic data generation, and Perfecto, our AI device lab inclusive functional test automation platform. Now this bank is deployed in Google Cloud. It's got checking accounts, savings accounts, all very normal. No surprises here. But one thing of note is that the bank currently only supports US dollars. So let's fix that. We're going to be using Claude Code. It's been set up to know how to talk to all of our Perforce solutions leveraging MCP servers. Note, the footage of Claude Code has been sped up, but otherwise this demo is 100% real. We'd like to expand the digital bank application to allow users to transact and hold accounts in the currency of their choice. Plan and develop a new feature to 1. Let the user choose their currency when they create a new checking or savings account out of dollars, euros, RMBs, loonies, pounds, or yen. 2. Make sure all existing accounts use US dollars. Ensure the currency is correctly propagated to their transaction list for each account. Now note, because it knows about P4, it automatically uses it to create a P4 stream for the development work. And the code changes are complete. Let's go ahead and build the digital bank application and deploy it to the staging environment. Here we're using OpenTofu to validate staging's underlying infrastructure. Claude then checks Delphix to validate our connection to data, and then uses Bolt to build the container image and then deploy it to GCP. Deployment complete. So are we done? Let's find out. Can you put together a dashboard UI that shows us 1. The current status of our development work, including a summary of changes and interactions with our P4 server, 2. The current status of our staging and production deployments, and 3. A real-time overview of the status of our cloud infrastructure. The goal is to provide a good idea of how far along we are in accomplishing this feature. Now this uses a new Perforce developed MCP server called the UI Builder. And we're done. Now let's take a look. Here we can see all the relevant P4 info. What streams houses the new code, when did we do the work, and what are the key changes are. And here's the deployment status. It shows us some info about both staging and prod, URLs, which container image is live, even info about which Delphix virtual database is being used. And it says staging is up to date with our changes, so let's check it out. Here you can see that a selection for various currencies. Let's pick Canadian dollars and put in 250 as a starting balance. Note that pre-existing transactions still use US dollars as we requested. Now what's strange here is that these transactions don't look like fake staging data. They look like real production data, and that's a problem. Let's leverage Delphix to fix staging to use mass data. Let's redeploy our staging environment using the development stream image, but a new virtual database provisioned from a masked virtual database instead of the production data source. Now, with that done, let's pop back over to staging and verify. Sure enough, the transactions are now all masked just like we wanted. With that all sorted, it's time to properly test everything. So, let's run our BlazeMeter performance tests against the staging environment. As mentioned before, Claude Code's been sped up for the sake of this video. Test run's complete. There's a summary with a bunch of BlazeMeter stats and the like. Too much to absorb right now, but we'll get to it later. Let's run the Perfecto test using a quantum agent against the staging environment. Once again, this has been sped up, and we're done. It looks like we've got a 100% pass rate along with a bunch of other metrics. Again, too much to absorb right now, but we'll get to that in a second. Finally, let's run static analysis against our current code base. Provide a report back to me of any outstanding issues. And we're done. There's a ton of information here. Again, a lot to absorb. Skimming through it though, it appears it found one issue. Let's update our UI to help us take all the text, and numbers we got from these test runs across the solutions and consolidate into something more digestible. Wow. Those reports from BlazeMeter, Perfecto, and Klocwork are a lot to digest. Can you please update our UI dashboard to include status of BlazeMeter Perfecto tests, including embedding video content when possible, and static analysis recommendations? The UI supports live binding of all three of these products, so you should be able to pull live updating data. And okay, here's our updated UI. Looks like we've got a new section for BlazeMeter. It's giving us a really nice summary and analysis. Just the major things that I want to see without any other noise. For demo purposes, these stats are totally acceptable. If we scroll down, we can see data from Perfecto. We get a nice condensed dashboard. We could even take a look at the video footage of each test embedded right here for our convenience. Now it looks good, so we're going to move on. Let's keep going down to the section on Klocwork. Looks like there is indeed one issue that we need to fix. So, let's ask Claude Code. Let's fix the static analysis issue that was identified, then submit the changes to the development stream. And, once again, this is sped up and we're all fixed. So we've coded up our feature, done performance tests, verified our app looks nice on mobile devices, and masked our data. I say let's ship this to prod. We're ready to deploy this change to our production environment. Let's start by switching to our main stream and integrating the changes from this development stream. Now, let's build a container image for the digital bank and deploy it to production. And our prod deployment's complete. Now let's take a look at prod. You can see that this is using non-masked data, as you'd expect in prod. You can also see how we've now got the ability to select from new currencies just like we wanted. And that's it. We went from idea to production, leveraging a slew of Perforce solutions to do the heavy lifting. We didn't write a single line of code, and we didn't have to log into 6 different product UIs. All of these Perforce capabilities working together with the ease of typing a few English sentences.